Hey everybody, my name is Nate, you're watching WASD20, and today I wanted to give my review of the new Spellbook cards for D&D 5th edition. These are made by Gale Force 9, and I wanted to kind of open up the box, take a look at the cards with you, and give some of my impressions and my thoughts, and tell you whether or not I think they're worth it. I had kind of a hard time getting these. Gale Force 9 has had them on their website, and for a long time that was the only place you could get them. But now there are other places to get them. They are now on Amazon, although I noticed they cost more. So keep that in mind. Gale Force 9 still has the base price. You might be able to find them other places online too, but I actually got them through my favorite local game shop. And yeah, I just called them and said, can you guys order these? Because I had heard of other people being able to do that. They didn't have them in stock, but they ordered them for me. And that way I didn't have to pay for the shipping at all. So that was a good deal. What you're paying for here, in the Cleric deck you get 200 cards, and, or I'm sorry, 106 cards. And I think the Bard and the Druid are about the same. And you're paying $12.99 for that, okay? Then for the Paladin and Ranger cards, you're paying $6.99. So those are smaller decks. This one has 44 cards, and I assume the Ranger is about the same. The Arcane deck is the really big one, because that has all your spells for many of the arcane classes like Wizard, Sorcerer, Warlock, I'm probably missing some, Eldritch Knight I think, and that one costs $19.99, and that comes with I think a little over 200 cards, so quite a bit more, twice as much as one of these, and it's just a bigger box, thicker. So personally, I really wanted the Cleric ones because I'm playing a Cleric right now, and it's kind of a pain to select from all the spells in the book, all the Cleric spells in the book at the beginning of every day. The cards are going to make that a lot easier for me. But anyway, without further ado, let's open the box and take a look at the cards. Alright, so here we have the cards. Let's open them up here. The boxes are a little bit hard to open. I originally had an unboxing video, and I might put some of the clips from that. I never posted it, but I might put some of the clips in that. You can see what the plastic they were wrapped in. Alright, and here is the original unboxing video I filmed a couple weeks ago. This was a little before Thanksgiving when I got the cards. You can see I had to bite the plastic there to get them open. I had some scissors handy, but I was afraid I would actually end up kind of trimming the cards if I tried that. Maybe a very sharp knife you could have slipped under that plastic there. But yeah, ooh, the bite in slow-mo. Yes. The struggle, and then a long struggle here to open this one, and this actually did. This is real time now, not slow-mo. Took me forever to get this thing open. So yeah, they're pretty well wrapped in plastic. Another thing worth noting is that the Paladin cards were a bit bent on the corner, not from me biting, they were bent before. A hazard of opening with your teeth, you'll see here, you get plastic in your mouth, so I spit it out. Sorry, I couldn't resist putting that disgusting moment in there. Alright, back to the real review now. But yeah, the box is already getting a little mangled here just because it is really hard to get my finger in there and open it. But no big deal. Alright, so pull these out, and the first thing that struck me is how glossy they were. They remind me of these old comic cards I used to collect, the old Flair comic cards. They're not quite as thick as that, but they're still very thick and sturdy, and they are very glossy. Alright, so these are the Cleric cards. They're color-coded. These ones are kind of a yellowish orange. And the Paladin cards are sort of a light blue. And yeah, let you see that. A little bit of glare there. But yeah, so they're very glossy, and I've heard you can write on them. I've written on them. I tried writing with dry erase, and I erased it a few minutes later, so it's not a very good test. But sure enough, they erased just fine, totally clean. And again, the thickness is really quite good. I'm pretty pleased with how sturdy they are. So the corners are a little bit bent, and you can see right there, and that one actually came that way. That was bent. So they're very sharp corners, and I imagine they're going to bend more easily because of that. It would have been nice if they were rounded. The Cleric cards I mentioned are going to be very useful to me. They basically, will allow me at the beginning of every day, as I'm playing a Cleric, to pick my spells. Here's cantrips first of all, marked 0 with the Cleric symbol there, and Then we've got level 1, so you can easily just kind of separate them into levels, level 2, 3, and then the rest are in the box here. But they're going to allow me at the beginning of every day to really just kind of take a look at the cards and pick a few according to how many spell slots I have, and just have them handy. And when I'm done casting them, set it aside. So I think that'll be really useful for Cleric. In terms of other classes, I think, yeah, they're useful too, but if you're not playing a heavy casting class, for a Paladin, for a Ranger, I think they're less essential, but then again, the decks are a lot cheaper. This was only $7. The other complaint I've heard about them at times is they don't include concentration. If a spell is concentration, they don't write that on here. But one thing I did notice is you can tell if it's concentration if it says up to on your duration. So anytime it says up to, that, according to what I checked, is going to mean it's concentration spell, as opposed to just duration, 1 hour, because it doesn't say up to. You can safely assume that this is not a concentration spell. All right, it just says 1 hour. You cast it, it lasts for an hour. If it said up to 1 hour, that would mean it's a concentration spell. So it doesn't say it, but it's easy to tell once you learn the system. One other thing to note here about the cards is that they really are stuck together when you first open them, but that does get a lot better. So yeah, this one I've flipped through all these cards, and they're not really sticking together that much. This side, on the other hand, I haven't really messed with that much. I haven't really looked at the cards for these upper level spells all that much, and so you can see here, as I'm trying to flip through them, they're just sticking together like crazy. So even if I took this and tried to separate them, there's just no way trying to flip that way. You actually have to unstick them this way, and it makes this sticky noise like that. So yeah, that's not so great, but really after you do it the first time, I haven't noticed them sticking at all anymore. The price point I think is pretty fair. At first I was a little turned off and I wasn't thinking I was going to get them, but I eventually did end up buying a couple, and I was thinking, if I have the money, eventually I'd love to buy them all. If you were going to buy them all, you'd be spending about $75 retail price without shipping. So yeah, I don't know if I'll end up buying them all, but it is kind of nice to have these, and yeah, I just really like them. So overall, I think they're a pretty good value. Just to compare, I have these Pathfinder Rise of the Runelords face cards, and this deck was $10. Granted, it comes with a little bit more than my Paladin deck, but they're really quite thin. They're not the glassy laminate, and yeah, they're just much more flimsy. All right. Granted, they're probably not going to get the same amount of wear and tear as a spell card will. Still, these were $10, $9.99 I believe, and these are only $7.99. So I think that overall, I think the D&D Spellbook cards are a good deal. You can get them again off Gale Force 9's website, or I would recommend calling your favorite local game shop and just seeing if they can order them, because they probably can at this point. So if you have any feedback, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below, and yeah, make sure you like and subscribe, all that good stuff. Everybody take care.